Yeah. Okay. So, what is the agenda for today's class, guys? Any idea? I think we have talked about it like study itself, right? So, any idea what is the agenda for today's class? MCP, MCP, MCP. Okay. So maybe you have not joined today's class till last, I believe. Hmm. So there was a demand from a people that we are able to do a training or fine tuning of the model in a local system. Now, how we can do the same kind of a training inside a GPU, and how we will be able to do a inferencing inside a GPU. So that was a demand that I have received from your batch. And keeping that in our mind, so that is something that we are going to discuss today. And it is going to be very, very exciting because this is something that you are going to do even in your company. And if you are going to do a fine tuning in your company, so obviously you are supposed to follow the exact same script that we are going to execute today. Yeah. So that is going to be the agenda of my today's class. And then in next class onwards, obviously MCP we are going to discuss. Then we have a to a agent to agent protocol. That is something that will come into a picture. So let's try to understand that how we can do a fine tuning of a model inside a GPU, end to end setup, everything in a detailed way. Yeah. So that is something that we are going to discuss. So let's start, guys. Everyone. Yeah. Okay. So fine. Let's start. So let me share my screen. I believe my screen is visible to all of you. And what we are going to do. So first of all, we are going to prepare our machine. That is a very first requirement. And once our machine is going to be ready, then we can go ahead with the deployment, or we can go ahead with the fine tuning, or like whatever is required, right? So first of all, machine is supposed to be ready in my system. So here we are going to use a same machine, a hyperstack. I believe we have already used it in our past. You can try to use this GPUs from anywhere. I don't have any kind of a biasing with respect to hyperstack. So I just need a GPU access. That's it. Apart from that, nothing is required. By the way, so let's get started. So here we'll go to a virtual machine, and I believe this is third or fourth time we are doing it, right? So just go to a virtual machine and deploy a new virtual machine, and then from here, so you can try to choose a virtual machine. So I'm going to choose H100, that like I like always like a choose. So H100 and one unit I'm going to choose, as you can see over here. And then I will be doing a basic setup for this H100. So in a Canada region, so there is a machine, and then OS image wise, so Ubuntu is fine. You can choose Alma Linux or Debian as well. I don't have any kind of a issue, but yeah, Ubuntu is going to like work fine for us. Then after that, so we have to set a new SSH key, right? So we have to basically set a new SSH key so that I will be able to log in inside my system. So I believe we talked about setting up a SSH key, right, guys? Everyone? Yeah. Anyone who is not aware about how to do a setup of SSH key? Shall I show you once again? Okay, my first time. Okay, maybe you have missed the previous class because I have already talked about it. Okay. Let's start with the putty gen, right? We can go in a reverse direction as well. So we can try to generate a SSH key, and then we can try to download it, or we can try to create first and then we can try to attach this SSH key. So in both the way, it's completely going to be fine. There is no issue at all that you all are going to find out. Now here, so we had a putty gen, right? So I have already asked you to download a putty gen. It's a like a KB of software, right? So within like a fraction of second, you all will be able to download, and even I have provided you a link inside your dashboard. So when I talked about this putty gen for the very first time, so just open up your putty gen. I believe most of you must be having a putty gen in your system. So if you have already gone through that, so here what we will do, so we'll try to go and click on generate, and just keep on hovering my mouse over here so that it is going to generate a public key and a private key. Yeah, so both. So here is my key which has been generated. So this key is nothing but key value pair, those who are not aware about it. And it gives you two kind of a key. So one is a public key which is visible over here, right? So this is a public key, by the way, that you will be able to see. And same key you can try to store it as a private key as well. So let me save this as a private key. So click on save a private key, and yes. And then here, so I'm going to give a name to it. So today's class is GPU fine tuning, right? So with this name, and today is 26th of October. So 26 OCT. So with this name, I'm going to store this particular key, let's suppose, and it's going to be a PPK file. PPK means private key, basically. So which is required at the time of login. So whenever you are going to hit your VM from any other machine, for example, so today we are going to hit our VM from my local machine, right? From this Windows operating system, I'm going to hit my VM. So obviously this private key is required. So I'm going to store it, and then I'm going to copy this public key, right? And this public key I have to attach. I have to attach with my VM so that it will be able to understand. So whenever I'll go give a private key, so with the help of like a private and a public key which I'm going to attach, it will be able to understand that, okay, it's the same user who is going to log in. So how I can try to attach it? So I can try to click on create new SSH key, right? And here I can just give a name to it, that GPU training, any name I can try to give, and just copy and paste your public key. And the region is supposed to be same, Canada region. So where we are like trying to spin our machine. So Canada region. So here is a public key, and equivalent private key I have already saved in my local system, that I'm going to use it at the time of login. So here I have attached a public key, and then click on import, right? Click on import, and then select GPU training. So I have multiple keys, right? I can attach even a multiple keys. That's completely like I can select one of these, like a key which is available to me. So I have just attached a GPU training key, so which I have just generated with the help of this partition. Yeah. Okay. SSH access, enable it so that you will be able to log in into your system with the help of putty or equivalent software, or maybe from your Linux machine, or maybe from your Mac machine. You will be able to do a SCP, right? So you can do a SSH. Public IP address, yes, enable it. I need a public IP address. Now configure additional settings. So virtual machine name, leave it as it is, default name. Install Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is not required in my case, so it's completely fine. I can leave this part. If I need a Jupyter Notebook, I can just try to enable this one, and I can set a password. Yeah, so maybe I can enable it, and I can say, okay, fine, so give a password to it. But yeah, in my case, I don't need a Jupyter Notebook today at least. Now, inbound rule. So from which network or port you are going to allow a traffic, basically means allow a hit on your VM. So add inbound rule, and here, so give a broad port range 1 to 9999, and then whitelist the all IP address 0.0.0.0/0. Simple. So it is going to allow all the IP addresses, by the way. Outbound. So outbound traffic wise, so again, port range 1 to 9999, and then all IP address 0.0.0.0. Fine. Now nothing needs to be done. Everything is set, and I can just click on deploy, and within fraction of second, not second I would say, but yeah, maybe in a minute, it is going to deploy it. Are we done, guys? Shall I click on deploy? Or you want me to show some like a process which I have done over here? Those who are joining this GPU class for the very first time, because this is not the first time for us, by the way. You can use save it as well. So both the options is possible. I mean, like at the end of the day, I need a password, right? So your public key is nothing but a key which gets attached to a machine, and private key allows you, or private key we have as a password for you. Simple. Yeah. So it's the same process, right? Nothing is going to change. Nothing has changed, I would say, right? It's the same thing that we have already done. So we are just repeating the same thing so that I will be able to get my machine. Is it okay? I think only one person has pinged. What about other people? Yeah. Okay, so two people. What about other people? We have so many people in a class. So we'll do it later because a lot of things now on my system. Okay, sir, there is no option to run how many games to run. Kubernetes you are talking about? So KMS, where is the option? VMs, right? Okay, so how many VMs you can try to run? So as many as you can, basically. So virtual machine. So this machine which I'm trying to access, technically it's a virtual machine. Okay. So now click on deploy. Simple. Yeah. So click on deploy. It will take maybe a minute of time to deploy, and I will be able to get my IP address over here and a machine which I have selected. So it is going to cost me $1.53 per hour. So that is a cost which I'm going to get, by the way. Just wait, it's creating. This is the same thing we are doing over a cloud now that we did yesterday locally. Exactly, yes. A little bit of changes in a script because in my local systems I was dealing with a Windows machine, and in my cloud environments I'm dealing with the Linux machine plus in local systems. So majorly GPU was a contributing factor, but here so my CPU was a contributing factor, but here GPU is a major factor. We are trying to access GPU, and you will be amazed to see a training speed. Believe me, right? The training which is going to take hours and hours of time in your local machine, same training will be done in a minutes of time. This is something which you will be able to see today, right? Okay. So here is a public IP address which I'm able to get, which is more than enough for me to log in into a system. Now, those who would like to log in through their basically Linux machine or maybe a Mac machine, so they can try to do a SCP. So I'll talk about that as well. And those who would like to log in through a Windows machine, so they can use a PuTTY. PuTTY is something that we have already installed, we have already downloaded. So PuTTY is a very, very small software, so which is going to help you out. PuTTY download for Windows. Yeah. So PuTTY is a very small software, KB of a software you can say. So you can just go over there and you can try to download it, and you will be able to use this software to log in into any VM, means literally any VM in this entire world. So PuTTY is basically a small tool which allows you to do a SSH, and if you are using a Linux machine or Mac machine, then I'm giving you a command. You can just try to use that particular command and it is going to work. So it's called as SCP command. So with the help of SCP, you will be able to do it. And whatever is going to work in a Linux machine, same thing is going to work in a Mac machine as well, because your base is Linux inside a Mac machine, by the way. So your kernel is same. It technically understands a Linux command, by the way, your Mac machine. Yeah. Simple. I'll give you that command as well. Don't worry. Just hold on for a couple of minutes. So just go over here and you can try to download a PuTTY if you have not done that before. And after that, so maybe you can start, doing a SSH. So I already have a PuTTY in my system. So I'll try to open up a PuTTY. So PuTTY gen is different. PuTTY is different. PuTTY gen is for generating a keys, and PuTTY is for login purposes for Windows machine majorly. So here it is asking me for my host name. So what is going to my host name? The IP address. This is going to my public IP address. This is going to my host name. So I'll copy this IP address. I'll go to PuTTY. Where is my PuTTY? Oh, not PuTTY gen, PuTTY. So I'll just go to PuTTY, right? And I'll try to copy and paste my IP address over here. And then I have to give a private key, right? So this is my user ID, you can say, or like a login credential. And I have to give my, private key so that I will be able to log in into the machine. I would like to save this session. So maybe GPU, GPU train, and let's save it so that, I can try to use, yeah. So here you can click on SSH, you can click on auth, process is same, click on credential, and then here it is giving you an option to browse your credential. So browse it, browse your private key, so wherever you have stored. So GPU fine tuning 26th October, this is like a key which I have created. So I'm going to use this one, right? Go back to session, save once again so that I don't have to give again and again. Yeah. And then try to click on open. So once you are going to click on open, it is going to ask you to accept just for the very first time. And then here you have to log in. So login wise, so you have to give a name Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. And then you will be able to log in after authentication. So successfully I'm able to log in into a machine, as you can see over here. Let me increase a font size inside a putty. So change setting, appearance, change, and let's select 18 and apply. So this is my machine. Yeah, this is my machine which is up and running, and I will be able to do a training over here. As simple as that. So if I'll do ls over here, so there is nothing so far inside this particular machine. I have to maybe place all of my code file over here, or maybe in any of these directories. So any idea, guys, how I will be able to bring a code file? Because see, this machine is completely blank, right? This machine is completely empty. This is a new machine. There is nothing. So I have done ls, and there is nothing, right? No file available in this like a folder. So any idea how I can bring my file? Docker image repository clone from Git. Okay, okay, I can do a Git cloning. Um FTP file transfer protocol. Fine. Okay. SCP. Yeah, SCP is also possible. Okay, so there are multiple ways by which I can bring all my code files over here. So let's suppose I'm running something in my local. I'm testing something in my local. So frequently I'll have to transfer a file, right? So frequently, so let's suppose if I'm trying to run something in my virtual machine, which is technically this one, and let's suppose it's not working. So I'll go back, debug maybe into my local machine, and then again I'll try to update the files. So frequently I'll have to update our files in back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So a best possible approach is going to be maybe a using some sort of a tool which is going to allow me in terms of doing a drag and drop kind of a things. Means I'll drag from one machine and dump into another machine. Means I'll drag from maybe a Windows machine and drop it inside my Linux machine, right? So to do that, there is a tool, not just one tool which is available in a market. And again, these tool exist in a market, I think, since last 15-20 year. So even before when I have started my career in IT industry, because I have been using it since last like a 10-11 year. So obviously people have created it like and made it open source before that, right? So yeah. So what tool we are going to use? So we are going to use basically a tool called as, for my Windows machine, WinSCP. So you can just go to internet and then just try to search for WinSCP and click on download. So it is going to give you some official website from where you all will be able to download it. Yeah, you all can like download a WinSAP. Again, it's a very small software, like 12 MB of a software, and entire world is using it. And again, you can see like even website is in a PHP. So just imagine how old it is, right? It's actually very old. It's very old, right? So you can just go to this place and you can try to download a WinSCP inside your system. So once you are going to download a WinSCP, the way you have logged in, yeah. So the way you have logged in into your like a putty, with the help of putty, in the similar manner you will be able to log in even inside a WinSCP, which is going to allow you to do a file transfer from one places to another places. Fine. Sir, we are using in my company, and Blade Logic also we are using. Yeah, there are tons of software available. So it's just a like SCP, right? So obviously for that, and again, if I have a Linux terminal access even in Windows, which we have nowadays, so we don't even need a tool. So we can directly use a SCP command and we can transfer it. But yeah, these tools are going to give us a flexibility in terms of doing a drag and drop. So just download this WinSAP, and after download, it will take fraction of second to do an installation. So in my system, as you can see, WinSCP is available, right? So I'm going to open up this WinSCP. So once I'm going to open up WinSCP, you will be able to see two things, two like two side of it. So one side and then this side. So you will be able to see two side. By default, it is going to be blank. It is not going to be, for example, if I'm going to click on new tab, so by default, it will be like a blank, by the way, both the sides. Yeah. So here I have to hit a new website. Simple, right? New website. So I have to give a host name. What is the host name? Same, like I said, so you are supposed to use a same like a method, the method that you have used to log in with the help of putty. So here I can give a host name. My host name is nothing but my machine public address, this public IP. So copy and then paste it. Fine. New site, host name. Now I have to give a username and password. So I am trying to use a private key, right? So I don't have username and password. So I'll click on advanced, simple. And here, so SSH authentication option you will be able to see. And here you can upload your private key basically. So again, browse your private key. Fine. So private key is attached. Click on OK. Fine. Host name is this one. And then try to log in. So once you will try to log in, it will give you a pop-up called as accept. So I'll click on accept. It is asking me for my username. So my username for a machine is Ubuntu. Same thing, Lena Patijan, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. Okay. So if everything is going to be fine, then you will be able to see two sides of it, left hand side and right hand side. On left hand side, you will be able to observe your Windows folder. Whatever folder you would like to open up, you can open up. You can browse your entire Windows machine here. And on your right hand side, you will be able to see your Linux machine. As you can see, there is nothing inside the Linux machine, right? For now. So this is a root directory of the Linux machine, and you can just go to any of these folder. This is how simple your life will become. So if you are using a WinSCP, right? Mobile Stream, yeah, more combination of the putty and WinSCP. Yes, you can use Mobile Stream as well. I've been using it. So I mean, like everyone is having their own favorite toolkit. So simple, right? So just a SCP we are trying to do. So nothing to worry. Now here on this side, there is nothing. And I have to transfer all of these file, right? I have to transfer all of this file, not a model, because if I'm going to transfer a model, it is going to take a huge amount of a time. Model size is too big, right? So what I can do, I can try to transfer all of these files. So data set, fine tuning, everything I can try to transfer except model. So to transfer my data from here to here, I just have to do drag and drop. See, drag and drop started transferring, and within a fraction of a second, I will be able to transfer all of my file inside my Linux machine. So transferring. And if I'm going to update something, again, drag and drop, updated, even inside my virtual machine. Even if I have to transfer data. And this method is a universal method, by the way. Doesn't matter whether you are going to do a fine tuning, or maybe you are working on a big data project, or maybe into some other web development or something project, right? It's same, right? Whenever we have to communicate between a local and VMs basically. So as you can see, all of this file I have transferred except a model folder. So model folder I have not selected. The rest of the files is already available over here. I can go and I can try to check over here that all these files are available or not. So ls, and yes, all the files are available. LSL, all of these files are available to me. So whatever was available in my local system, all of these files are available even over here. My dataset folder is also available. My fine tuning files are also available. So maybe I can go into a fine tuning and I can try to check. So ls, so yes, all of my fine tuning files are available. So DPO, full fine tuning, LoRa, preferred Q LoRa, everything is available. I can do cd dot dot. I can go back. I can look into cd data set, and I can again try to check. So yes, all of my data files are also available. So everything is available to me. So whatever was available in my local system, now I have just replicated the exact same thing inside my VM, except a model file, because model we have to create, right? Model will try to train. We have to see the power of GPU. So, okay, Arnava is asking, when we transfer, should we transfer the file inside a fine tuning folder? You can create any folder, transfer in any folder, create a new folder with the help of WinSAP. So here you will be able to get an option to create a new folder inside a VM, or maybe you can come over here, do mkdir, create a new folder, transfer into that one. It's fine, keep it anywhere, right? At the end of the day, I just need, you don't have to like keep everything into the root directory. I'm keeping it. I have just transferred it. But yeah, it's completely fine. I can just go create, do mkdir from here, or even from WinSAP, go and create a new folder just by using this UI. Anything is fine. right? I just need my file to be available somewhere. That's it. Which location doesn't matter for me, unless and until uh, I'm not able to remember it. So yeah, all are in a root directory. If another project want to transfer, then so you can create a folder. Folder option is available to you, right? Maintain your folder location. Simple. It's just like working with directories, right? So I don't think it's a like a discussion point for us. Okay, now, so all the files are available over here, right? So first of all, we have to do a training. Now I have done couple of changes. So I have done couple of changes with respect to some of the files with respect to H100 training. So step by step. So we will try to start with the training and yeah. So one by one. So you will have to execute the files so that your training is going to start and peacefully you will be able to do a training. If it is going to give me some sort of issues, we'll fix it. We'll fix in my local and then I'll try to, transfer that again here. So here you will be able to see a file called as setup file I have created. This setup.sh. So whenever you are going to spin your machine, and if you remember, even last time, right? So we were trying to run some sort of couple of commands so that I will be able to update my virtual machine. And yeah, one more thing. What is the command to check a GPU? Anyone who remembers? Yes? CUDA. CUDA is basically library. So NVIDIA SMI, right? NVIDIA, NVIDIA hyphen SMI. This is the command. So here is my GPU H100. So this is the detail that I'm able to see over here, right? So NVIDIA SMI, by the way. Yeah, a couple of people are able to ping me. So they remember. Fine. So here, basically, we have a GPU, and we are able to see that yes, we have H100 GPU. So if you remember, even last time, so when we were trying to spin our machine, so we have done a couple of Linux based or updates. So after doing the update, what we will do? So we'll try to do the installation. So whatever requirement files that we have, so we because this machine is a complete blank machine. So we have to do a setup in a step by step manner. Then only I will be able to, run each and everything. Otherwise, I won't be able to run things. So to do that, there is a one unified single file I have created, and that file is basically setup h100 complete.sh. So inside this file, I have mentioned each and everything. So what I have mentioned inside this one? So I have mentioned the update. Basically, I have mentioned a Docker installation because even Docker will not be available. I have to install a Docker. I have even up like a like inside this one. So I have even given a command so that it will be able to do all kind of requirements installations inside this one. So this is one single unified file, keeping one thing in our mind so that even in future, maybe after a year of time, if you would like to up your machine, it should not take more than a minute of time to keep your machine ready. So one single command and then your machine will be ready. Now to execute this particular command, first of all, I have to give a execute access. We don't have execute access. We have a read write, read access, right? So we have to give a execute access. So I'll just try to change access of it. So ch mode. So change the mode and give a plus x execute mode access to all sh file. So static of dot sh. So whatever file that we have inside my machine. So I'm just giving a execute access to all the sh file, whatever sh file. So shell script file. So here it's done. Now if I'll go and check lsl, so now all this sh file is having a execute access, read write execute access we have. Fine. So we have changed the mode of all of these file. This is required. Otherwise you will not be able to execute it. It will be into just a read and write mode. Now, so once this is done, I can try to run this setup h100 complete sh file. So how? Dot slash setup and then execute it. And it has started its job. So it will take couple of minutes. Yeah, so basically it's downloading Docker, is downloading all my requirement.txt file. It is updating my like a base Linux basically. Everything it is trying to like update. And believe me, even after a year, if you're going to touch this file and if you have a requirement to do fine tuning, uh, you will be able to like build your machine just like this. Can we use EC2 for? Yeah, EC2 also provides you machine. So obviously, any provider, not just AWS or maybe Azure or GCP, any machine means any machine in this entire world. Because AWS never build a machine, right? It's going to be NVIDIA machine or something else. So basically, AWS is just giving you a computer over there, right? Need to install Python specific version as well. So everything I have mentioned. It will download models. No, so basically this file is going to do a setup. First of all, you have to do an installation. So whenever you start a project inside your local system, so what you do, so let's suppose you have a new laptop, right? You have purchased a new laptop. So what you will do in a very first place, you will try to install Python first of all, right? Then once Python is installed, by using some of the like a provider or distributor, maybe a Conda, maybe Pip or something, right? So you will try to do a setup for Python, and then you will try to do a installation of all the requirements, so which we have mentioned inside requirement.txt file, right? And then you will start a training. So basically we are in a step where we are trying to set up our machine. So where it will install Python, update Python, it will try to install basically like a Docker is also required, right? So in a local system we have to install a Docker, then only we'll be able to test it. So even over here, if we have to run a Docker, we have to like install first inside a requirement.txt. For a training and for a inferencing, we need a multiple different kind of a libraries. So everything means whatever you can see in your code base in a requirement.txt file, both the requirement.txt file, it is trying to do that installation. Last time when we use we spooled it directly without using a Docker. It was working fine. In this session, we are yeah. So without even Docker, it is going to work fine for me. I mean, like Docker is not required unless and until I have a requirement of building something. So which should work everywhere in the similar manner. That's the meaning of Docker, right? How Docker install as per machine? I mean Linux, Windows, or Mac. It's just a command. Can anyone ping the last command that we used here? We'll give you the entire file, don't worry. So in which class previously you discussed a VM setup? New kernel available. Okay. So Python installation, it is showing me some issue, unable to, uh, let me check. Okay, failing my this particular command, which is required to set up my Python. So I'll have to check. Mm, mm, mm. Fine. CDH100 ls bin is there. So cd dot dot. So it has created basically a Python environment for me. So Python environment is available inside this directory. I have to activate this Python environment. Bin slash activate. It seems activate directory is not available. ACTIVA. No. So Python environment is giving me issue, guys. Let me fix it. CDH100. Otherwise, I'll create a new one. CD bin ls. Python 3 is available. Okay. Python 3.10 is available here. Fine, fine, fine. In my base environment, okay, Python 3, let me check. In my base environment, Python 3.10.12 is available. So I think it should work, by the way, for me. H100. Okay, fine. Okay, so now there is a file called as train all H100. So this file, so first of all, we have executed which file? So we have executed this one, which is going to do a setup for me. Technically, it is going to update my system, Docker installation, everything it is going to do. Then there is a sh file I have created for a simplicity, so which is going to train all the models. If I don't want to train all the models, then in that case I can go inside this fine tuning folder, and inside this folder I have an individual file. So I can try to execute individual file. That is also going to work for me, by the way. So here, maybe I can execute this sh file, or maybe I can try to call this Python file. So as Python environment is already available, I can simply call even a Python file over here. So Python Python 3 train tr. Okay, so I think I'm into a wrong directory. Cd dot dot cd dot dot cd dot dot python 3 version. Okay, clear lsl. So I have to execute this particular py file, which is going to initiate a training for me. So Python 3 train all H100 py file. So H100 complete training pipeline environment variable set GPU. Oh, it has failed here. Okay, so my GPU check has failed. Let me fix it. So let me install my CUDA manually. Download CUDA. So yeah, it is telling me that, so as per my script, basically GPU check has failed, and it simply means that CUDA is not available. So I'm just trying to do a pip install CUDA, and it's the same command which is available even inside your Docker file. So manually, I'm trying to install a CUDA. Do we need to activate the environment first? Yeah, you can do an activation of the environment, but in my base environment itself, I have a 3.10. So even without activating it, it will work. I can activate, I can go and I can activate as the environment is available, but here, so base also like is having 3.10, and 3.10 is something which I need. Now let me install transformer prefet. So all of these files are available in requirement.txt. I'm just testing one by one. Because this is the only step which, okay, requirement already satisfied for this one, fine. Then let's check for numpy pandas scikit. For this also requirement already satisfied. Now call environment variable, clear it, and then Python lsl Python 3 my train all H100. Train all. Let's see, this should not fail this time. Okay, so HR model full fine tuning, it has already started, guys, and as you can see how fast it is, right? So just like a, like a try to check over here. So it has started with this tiny llama. I just wanted to show you these things. So it has started my HR model fine tuning. Fine. And once it has started this HR model fine tuning, if you'll just try to check a log, so it is trying to load a tokenizer for me, then it's fine. Tokenization is done. Then it's trying to load my pre-built model, which is a tiny llama, which I am using. And model is having 1.1 billion parameter. Basically, it is loading a data set, then it is tokenizing a data set, then it is trying to start the training. So we are training it for 3 POC, 2 batch size. Learning, then it is this device is GPU, precision is 16, F16 we are trying to use it. And it has completed this model training just maybe in 30-40 seconds for 3 epoch. Now, same thing was taking like 15-20 minutes of time in my local system. Exact same thing. Yeah. Okay, maybe for other models, so my command has failed, successful 2, failed 3. Okay, so 2 models successfully, I'm able to train it. I'll have to check why my rest of the model has failed. But yeah, so 2 model we are able to train. So healthcare model we are able to train, and HR model we are able to train. So 2 models are available. If I'll go and if I'll try to check, so LSL, if I'll go into a model directory, so this directory, CD, models, then LSL, we have basically HR, we have healthcare, and we have sales, but yeah, this has failed. So if I'll go into my HR, like a directory, HR directory, I must be able to see all the model files and all the checkpoints. Yes, so everything is available over here. So this is the beauty of a GPU. So whatever was taking approximately like 2 model we are able to train, right? A third was failed. I'll just check. Maybe there is some command or there must be some issue with this one. Because of that it's failing. I'll just fix it now itself, right? But yeah, just within like 40-50 second, right? Yes, just within 45-50 second, which is going to take in my kind of a machine 30 minutes or 45 minutes of time. So that is a beauty. This is the reason. So we are supposed to use a GPUs, not a CPUs. That's the reason. So we should use a cloud, right? So just imagine in 1 hour of time how much training I will be able to do, even with the big data set and high epoch, right? So I will be able to do it. Now some of my training has failed. So healthcare model is fine. My sales model has failed, and my marketing model has failed. My finance model has failed. So return non-zero exit status, fine, fine, fine. And okay, successful 3 failed. That's completely fine. So I'll just try to see what is the issue. Fine. So it should not be a memory issue. Full fine tuning HR, loading this, fine, fine, okay. Okay, so I have these 2 models. So at least I can go ahead and I can try to test these 2 models, the model which we have trained basically. And then in a later stage, what we can do, so maybe we can try to, fix the issue. So there must be an issue with the script or memory issue. I just have to dig deeper into it. So I just have to check why it is giving me exit status 1 over here. So technically it means it has not worked. This is the meaning of 1, by the way, but I'll have to check. So at which condition it is giving me exit status 1. But before that, let's go with the inferencing. So at least 2 models are available to me. CLEAR, clear. Okay. So here, let's go ahead and do some sort of a inferencing. So to do that, I have a file called as deploy h100 api.sh. So let's just call this particular file so that I will be able to deploy. So dot slash deploy, and yeah, error permission denied while trying to connect to a Docker daemon socket. This. So this is the issue. Permission denied for which file? Head fine tuning ping. This Docker connect permission denied. It's trying to build a Docker image. but it's not able to build it. Okay, so let's fix that issue as well. So let me give a proper permission to my Docker and then apply a changes, restart my Docker. So I have already kept this command with me because these are the regular command that we use basically. So to restart the Docker or check what is a Docker version so that quickly I can check it. So this is my Docker version. Fine. Process is fine. Okay, no process is running for a Docker. So let's try to build a Docker image now. So Docker file build this H100 latest. Okay. So in case of like a Windows machine, so we try to do a Docker compose. Here, this is the command for like for building it. So even in Windows, so we do a Docker build and Docker compose. Same command we are trying to use with sudo access. Otherwise, the log are automatic or we have to use a login library. No, so whatever I'm trying to echo, so let's suppose I'm using a sh file, right? So inside a sh, which is nothing but a Linux compatible file, so you try to do a echo. So whatever you have written inside a echo, it's like a print basically. So it will try to like, print in your console. If you will not write it, it will not print it. Or you can even try to run it as a, background process. So that is also possible. Yesterday I told you, right? D. So error failed to build, failed to solve. Okay. Again, my Docker has failed. It should not fail, by the way. Hmm, Docker file H100 install system dependency curl fine with code. Hmm. Docker build. Okay, so lsl Docker file H100. Okay. Okay, so looks like my Docker, okay, so able to run all of these things, requirement.txt, server.py, find tune dataset. Okay, fine. So my Docker configuration looks fine. Now let me run it. Error response from daemon failed to create a task container, failed to sim task, executed one, this, version mismatch unknown. Why? Sudo docker run d, fine. Previous process was okay. LM API H100 latest. Yes, it should work because last time it was able to finish itself. Okay, let's check. Docker response from daemon. Let me restart my Docker clear clear sudo systemctl restart NVIDIA NVIDIA Docker. Fail to restart unit NVIDIA Docker service not found. Okay. Again, error. Fail to restart. Not found. Let me run API without Docker. Let's check whether it's working or not. Yeah, so it looks like my API directly is running. We'll fix it with Docker as well. But yeah, so my API is live and it's live on this particular port number 8000. So I've just executed my API server. So technically a fast API. So without using a Docker, I'm trying to execute so that I will be able to do a testing. So yes, it's running. Let me test at least my two of the model. So to test it, what we have to do? So we have to basically copy this IP address because at this IP address, things are running just like a local host. And here port number is 8000. So let me hit this port number /docs. No, it's not getting a request. How to domain name to IP address? Yeah, that I'll tell you. Don't worry. So domain name to IP address mapping. First of all, let me run these things. It's not able to reach out to my machine, by the way. No. Curl and anything. I mean, like, if there is no problem with the IP address, right? Public access of this address, then it should not give me an issue. Maybe I can go and check over here inside a network tab. And I think I have already allowed. Public IP address is fine, and firewall wise. So I have already allowed 0.0.0 port range. Okay, inbound and outbound. Okay, so why my port range is not this one? I think, yeah, this is the issue. My firewall and this one. Okay, let me check now. Yeah, that was the issue. So basically, I don't know. Basically, what I remember is like I have already given a port range of 1 to 9,999, but by mistake somehow it has taken only 22 port, and because of this port number, inbound like a traffic port number, so it was not allowing me. So that was the only issue. Because if something is running, obviously I should be able to access it. Okay, so now we are public, and now all of you will be able to access it, guys. So successfully, we are able to run things in our GPU. At least two models are running as of now. So I believe HR model is running and health model is running. So maybe I can go to HR model and I can try this out. I can try to pass a string over here. I can try to ask that what is HR policy for taking leave. So maybe execute and 404 model file not found. So again, this is the issue. It is able to reach out to my system, but this is the response. Model file not found at model HR full fine tune. Please train the model first. Okay. So another issue. 500 internal error. So my API is not able to give me a response. So I'm able to reach out to my system, as you can see, and many people are able to reach out to my system, it seems. But yeah, so I can see a traffic on my system. Fine. So let me terminate this one, guys, for now, and I'll have to check. Okay, so my model file is missing. Maybe I'll have to retrain this model file. LSL CD models LS. So healthcare, okay, HR fine tuned. HR full fine tuned. Okay, so it is looking for a model at HR full fine tuned. And I have a model available at HR fine tuned. Healthcare LoRa fine tuned. Okay, fine. Let's see which API is going to hit. CD dot dot. So HR fine tuned and LoRa fine tuned. Okay. So again, I have started running my API. Refresh. Healthcare. Try this out. Status healthy. Fine. And then we have healthcare. Healthcare model is working. I'm able to get a response. Tell me about yourself. So basically, healthcare model is working. So yeah, two model we have trained and two model is available. One of that model is basically a healthcare model, and successfully I'm able to get a response from my healthcare model. So basically, I just have to like clean a little bit this entire things, API things basically, and so that everything will work if one is working. So guys, you can use this healthcare model and then try to test it. So API slash healthcare. So healthcare inferences, you can try to do it. And in between, so I'll try to fix other things. And you will be able to see that inferencing is fast. So if you are going to run a exact same thing into your local system, inferencing is not going to be that fast. But yeah, so now if you are doing it, inferencing is going to be fast, and it's the same URL. Yeah, healthcare working, giving a response. Okay, fine. So healthcare is fine. I'll just try to fix other model as well because other models were working fine in my local system. I have already tested it. Maybe some configuration changes I'll have to do with respect to CUDA available over here. Okay, so everyone is getting 200, 200, 200. It simply means that I can see like people are hitting and people are able to get 200. It simply means that everything is working fine, and these are the IP addresses from where you are trying to hit my system. So let me close it, guys, and let me fix other part of the code. So closed the API, LSL. Let me execute this train all h100.py once again, just to identify the issue. So Python 3, train it. Prefect failed, LoRa marketing model failed, and finance model failed. Fine. So let me clear it, and I can try doing a training as an individual model. So LSL, and I have a fine tuning folder over here, and inside that I have a individual folder. So I can try to call that one CD fine tuning LSL, and whatever has failed, let's try to train it one by one. So let's say we are going to do a training for prefect. So let me try this so that I can identify individual issues. PEFAT. Hmm. Okay, so no such file or directory, dataset sales dataset dot JSON. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Python 3. Mm. Oblit has, so this is the issue it seems. Already multiple devices keeping arg, epoch, this. 'Fine tuning'. Fine. Python 3 train. So model training on GPU is having its own struggle, as you can see. So things are working perfectly fine in my local system. But when I'm trying to run it on a GPU, so because of like some dependencies issue, compatibility issue, it's failing. Okay, again, training failed, training failed. No package error is found for the bytes and bytes. Again, dependency issue. A lot of issues just with respect to dependencies. And yeah, guys, be ready if you are doing the same thing. I mean, like once it will work in my system 100%, it will work in any system. But yeah, if you're doing it fresh, so then obviously all you have to go through all the struggles. A real struggle in IT life. How to develop this level of understanding? So first of all, you should be good with the Linux command. If you're using like a GPUs, right, and any Linux machine, so you are supposed to have some sort of understanding with respect a basic of at least a Linux command. I'm not saying that you should be pro in that, but yeah. And then second, just go through line by line all those errors, because all those errors will tell you everything that why it is failing. So it is failing because of dependencies issue. So I'll just fix the dependency issue. Then again, try to run it, and it will work basically, right? It will always work. Can we not? So yeah, we can deploy a Docker images. First of all, let me train it. I'm struggling with the training itself. So I was able to train two models. Two model training was working fine. Third, fourth, and fifth model was giving an issue. So once training will be done, once I will be having a models, I can go with the Docker deployment. Now, in case of Docker deployment, obviously, like it is, if it is going to work once, it will work all the time. But to do that, I have to like create my model first. So I'm working on the model. I'm struggling with the model fine tuning, which was working perfectly fine in my Windows machine, by the way. Yeah, the code I have shared with you, so anyone and everyone can run that in their Windows machine, and it will work. Set the variable ls. Once I will get all of my five models, then we'll run Docker Python 3 Python train all H100. Just because of one small dependency. And yeah, all of you will be able to learn a lot just by looking at this, that this is how work happens, actual work happens. Again, failed. Training failed. Element 0 tensor issue. Again, it has failed. Training failed. Element 0 tensor did not required. Grant do not have a grade function. Poor model failed this time. Requiring grade true. It's a tensor issue. B15. Okay. So in my initial days, right? So when I was a fresher, I used to sit with my, seniors inside in a company, by the way, right? With my seniors, they used to work. I just used to see, and I have learned a lot in that manner. So it's a similar kind of a situation. Yes, sir, I can see the struggle and at the same time scared about the real work. But yeah, this is how real work happens. Instead of creating these files locally, can we do the same? See, in local, you have a VS Code, right? You have an editor. You can test it, you can check it, and then you can zip the code. If you are going to do it in a cloud, I'm like, this it's not going to like help you out in any way. So we develop everything in a local, and then we ship everything in a cloud. Okay, so one model done. Now, again, it's failing for my rest of the model. Grade function. I have already changed that piece of code. Just because of this two things. Can we push a code in Git and pull there? Sometime WinSAP corrupt files. No, it's not like that. WinSAP will never corrupt the file. It's just like a software. So if I'm doing a Git, so maybe it will be a little bit more time taking. WinSAP is convenient one. Drag and drop. Once my final version of code is ready, then I can push it into a GitHub repository. No need to push all the, not running code into GitHub. Grade 2, fine. Okay, so 5 model. Laura has device handling. Less. It has created all the folders and probably we have multiple checkpointings. No. Quote. Hmm. Okay, fine, guys. Issue solved, and now it is able to train all the models. It was just a small issue with respect to tensors. Because of that, required grade is equal to true. That was the only thing that we had to make, and after that, so everything has started working perfectly fine. Okay, so all models successfully trained. Total time is only 1.2 minutes. So technically this has taken almost 1.5 hour for me. So 1.5 hour of job in 1.2 minutes. So all the models are available now. Now if models are available, so we can try to check it with the help of APIs, right? So now you all can test it. Let me run the API. clear LSL, and then Python 3 API server. So now you won't face any kind of a issue. So this will work in your system. Everything is fixed for GPU. Okay, so now you can test the API, guys. Same API. Refresh, and then maybe you can try to test a finance model if you want. So here, tell me about yourself. Execute 404. Okay, so model file not found at DPO fine tune. Maybe directory has been changed. I just have to change my server file. Hmm. So model is trained. CD models less. So these are the directory, exact directory. So which I have to give. Can we check individual model training? Maybe we can find the error. Yeah, now it is also fixed. Actually, this it was the same error basically because of same error it was failing. So grad is equal to true, which we had to make, and after that, like gradient is equal to true. That was the only issue. HR fine-tuned, sales fine-tuned, pre-fine-tuned, marketing fine-tuned. Okay. Care Laura fine-tuned. Fine. So my API server. Hmm. Now, guys, so the only problem with respect to API was it was pointing out to a different directory, which was changed. So now you can try to check all the models. All the models are working on the same URL. So everything is public, everything is live. Not using a Docker for now, but yeah, using a fast API directly. Docker issue will be even fixed. That is not a big issue. If something was running in my local, so it will, I can make it running everywhere. So yeah, now you can check sales model, finance model, HR model, marketing model. All of these models are going to work for us. And yeah, all of you are going to get a good inferencing by the way. So okay, sales is giving 500 internal error. Sales is giving internal error. So maybe sales model is having an issue. Finance working fine. I can see marketing working fine. Healthcare working fine. Okay, sales is giving you an issue. Fine, got it. So maybe we'll have to change a location of the sales model. That's it. Directory of the sales model. Okay, so all the other models are working fine. The only issue with the sales model is maybe I can open up a duplicate session for this one. UBUNTU. Okay. CD models. Okay, so we have a sales fine-tuned and sales prefed fine-tuned. We have like two directory over here. So only sales is giving me an issue as I can see like in my API request. So we have like a sales here. Okay. Hmm. Fine. Let me check where my sales is pointing to. Sales prefed fine tune. And I have that directory, I believe. Sales prefed fine tuned. Hmm. So even sales issue is fixed as you can see. So basically it was just a directory issue. I have changed the directory which it was pointing to, a model directory, and yeah, so even sales is fixed. So now the entire code base is fixed. Let me tell you the summary of this, how you will be able to execute it and how you will be able to train it inside your system. So once your GPU is ready, very first part is that let me go into my parent directory and listen up carefully. So what you have to do. So you don't have to do much, by the way. The very first part that you have to execute is a setup h100 complete.sh. That's it, right? So setup file you have to execute, and then for testing purposes you have to execute basically API server.py file. This is going to create your system. This is going to basically install all the requirements, whatever requirements that we have to install. It will be done by only this particular file. So I have already updated this one, and then you just have to call this API server so that your fast API will be up and running, right? Your fast API. So these are the only two file execution that you have to do, nothing else. But yeah, so if you have to do just a model inferencing, but you have to do a training as well. So to train all the models, there is a file called as train all h100 py file. So first do a setup. Now if model is available, so you can like directly hit the API. If model is not available, then setup, then train basically, and then you have to run the API server. So that fast API server will be up and running, and you will be able to do a testing with any of these things. Yeah. So this file I'm going to share with all of you guys in your free time. So just try to set up and maybe you can spend like 15-20 minutes of time, because issue is fixed in my system, in my GPU. So obviously it will not give you an issue. That's there is a very high chance you all will be able to execute it just by running the code. Just running just three files. One is a setup file, and one is a train file, and one is a API server.py file. The rest is same that we have discussed. Yeah. So here, let me share this entire code base with all of you. Mm, mm, mm. Where is my VS code? Okay. So let me close this. Copy path. Full fine tuning or fine tuning GP, fine tuning underscore in underscore GPU. And for now, I'm uploading this entire file inside your system in a previous class itself. So in yesterday's class resource section, you all will be able to find out these files. Okay, guys, so I have made this file available inside your yesterday's lecture. So if you'll go inside the resource, you will be able to find out another file called as fine tuning in gpu.gif file. So yeah, everything is running in my system. You just have to run three files. One is setup, one is train, and one is basically launch the API. That's it. After doing like a after launching your machine in any like a GPU platform. So that's it, and everything is going to work. Has he has changed the directory in that was a directory issue, isn't it, sir? Yes, yeah. So I have just changed the directory in terms of API inferencing or model inferencing. Please explain pointing to train.py versus train.sh. Py is Python file. Sh is basically Linux file. So any file starting ending with sh is basically it's a Linux. It's a shell script basically. .py means it's a Python file. So if you have to run some Linux command, so in that case we keep everything inside sh, or you can directly even type a sh Linux command. The way I'm doing it, like mkdir or ls or lsl or ch mode, anything. For Mac, it's going to be same. So Mac is basically having a Linux based kernel. Please help me to understand train all will download and model train as well. So basically train all H100 that we have over here. So I think I have already explained in my previous session that what this file is doing. So this file is not doing anything different. This file is trying to call all of these files, right? The DPO fine tuning, LoRa fine tuning, Cora prefect fine tuning all together in one single place. That's it. So and it's trying to run one by one all of these files. That's it. This is something that my train all H100 is doing. If I have to do a training all together, right? So if I have to train 5, 6, 10 models all together. Otherwise, we have individual files available over here. So if I'm just looking for a DPO, just looking for LoRa, just looking for a QLoRa or prefect, I can directly call Python and this file name. The way I'm calling this train all. Simple. So I can go with the individual training. I can go with the like a train all. That's the reason. So I have created like a train all so that I can like a train all the 5 models in one single go. Okay, so just do it, guys, once. I know all of you are going to face an issue. I know some of you are feeling overwhelmed. That is completely okay. That happens. Not nothing new, basically. But unless and until you are not going to try once on your own, you will not be able to understand much. Uh, Today I have not done something different, so I'm just trying to like do a setup in my GPU so that I can do a training within a minute of time, which we have done 1.3 minute or something it has taken for us. Ideally, which will take around a 2 hour 3 hour of time in your machine or in my machine, right, for the same epoch, for the same parameter. So I have not even changed the parameter. If I have to train for maybe 100 200 epoch, so again, in my local system, maybe it will take a couple of days, but here, so you will be able to do it in just a couple of minutes, or maybe within an hour, you will be able to do it, even for a very, very big epoch. That is the advantage, and that was the whole idea behind showing you this entire things, entire setup. And even when we try to do a training, we do a similar kind of a thing. So we always go ahead with the GPU approach, not with the local. So local, yes, we just like use it for a testing purpose. Whenever we are building a code, whenever we are just starting ahead with the project. But finally, when it comes to a training, it always happens on these kind of a system, as simple as that. So first run this setup.sh, then train all the then AP, train.sh and then API server.py file. Yeah, that's a flow. You can call setup.sh, you can call train.py file or train all sh. Both is same. One is like a Linux script and one is a Python file, and then API server.py file. That is the only like things you have to do. सर हम ट्रेनिंग जीपीयू में करते हैं, फिर वो सेव मॉडल कहाँ रखते हैं एंड इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं? सेव मॉडल यहाँ पर है ना आपका, सेव मॉडल डायरेक्टरी में है, जहाँ जो आप डायरेक्टरी दोगे उस डायरेक्टरी में रहेगा. तो लेट्स सपोज कि वी आर एबल टू गेट दिस मॉडल, राइट, एंड इफ आई हैव टू माइग्रेट दिस मॉडल टू सम अदर सर्वर, आई कैन डू इट. आई कैन लाइक जस्ट डू a scp, and with the help of scp I can migrate to any other server that I want. If I would like to keep it here, so for now my model is available here itself, right? If I'll go into my CD models and if I do LSL, everything is available. See, so if I'll go into my finance directory, all my files are available. All my checkpointing files are available for a finance. All of these files. So this is my model. This is my checkpointing file, and this is the model that I have basically. Yeah. So everything like will be available in your local directory, and then depends where you are going to keep it. So wherever you are going to keep it, you will call an API from that place. This is what I'm doing. So any other question, guys, for me? want to deploy this on our server, then we need to copy a trained model on our server. Yeah. So basically, my models are available in my model directory. You can do a SCP from here, so that you will be able to copy from here to any other server of your choice. Where you change the value to true for cache or something in the code. It was not for a cache, basically. It was for a tensor issue. It was like not able to understand the dependencies. Okay, any other question, guys? To get a best model, we follow the same precision recall blue score etc, right? In general, but yeah. So even we have a task specific, evaluation criteria. Now, if Docker part was success, then this H100 can be shut down after complete folder extraction via Docker. We can save a billion, correct? Yeah, but if your client or if your requirement says that you have to keep your model up and running, then you have to like keep it up and running. Yeah. Again, so we can even try to use a WinSAP. Models are already available here, right? So maybe if you have to copy from this location to your Windows location, just drag and drop, and then your model will be copied. This is how easy it is. But it will be a very time-taking process. So if because file size is like a very huge. But yeah, you can copy. Just drag and drop, and you will be able to copy into your local system. And then whenever you want, maybe after 1 year, you want to like use this model, you will be able to use it once trained. Or maybe you can try to make this model public to everyone. That okay, I have trained this model, and now go and just use it. So the way Hugging Faces release a model, or the way any open source model works in this entire world. So everyone try to release the model, right? Now your models are available here. You can go and you can release this model. Simple. Yeah. So this is how in reality things happen. So even we are able to create the model, and we can make it open source. That okay, we have fine tuned the model on a small data set. Maybe you can do it on a big data set, and then you can like do it. Same thing we follow in our office dev environment and for UAT and prod gives same instruction. Yeah. Once fine tuning is done, can we move the model in S3 or inferences? You can move anywhere. You can move into maybe like a data lake. You can move into a S3 in any file system. You can move it. There won't be any kind of issue at all. You can move it in even inside like this directory. That's okay. Yeah. So fine, guys, this is it. I have already uploaded the code. Try once, at least once in a life, you all should do it, right? So that you can write it down inside your, resume that I have done a fine tuning on a GPU, and this is something that I used to follow all the time. And then people will ask you a question that what kind of issues that you have faced. You will be able to talk about it, right? In real, right? And even in real, this is how things happens. Will Docker image contain models as well? So I think yes, obviously. So in case of Docker image, so it copies all the folder into a Docker location, means into that box, Docker container. It copies everything, all of your files. So technically, it try to replicate everything that is running in your local in itself. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it from my side. Hope all of you have liked this class. Now, if you have any kind of a question, so you can raise your hand so that I can answer, and then we can go for the closer of today's class. Next class, I'll try to start with MCPs and A2A protocol, basically. So MCP is something that we'll try to learn, and then after that A2A, and then like so on. Yeah, go ahead, Uday. It was a requirement from Uday. Uday told me yesterday that can we discuss this? So I said, okay, fine, let's do it. So.
सर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स सर क्योंकि ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कॉर्पोरेट के लिए और बेस्ट बेस्ट क्लास सर थैंक्स थैंक्स फॉर कंसिडरिंग द रिक्वेस्ट सर काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला मैं हमेशा स्टक कर जाता था यहाँ पे कि
अब मैक्सिमम चीज जो है ना, मैक्सिमम चीज तो आप देख के ही सीख जाते हो। मतलब लाइक कुछ अलग चीजें होती कहाँ है, मतलब वही सेम ट्रेनिंग सेम मॉडल सब कुछ सेम है, बट हाँ द काइंड ऑफ अ स्ट्रगल दैट वी गो थ्रू व्हेन वी एक्चुअली ट्राई टू रन, सो वही लर्निंग है और क्या। उसके अलावा तो कोड तो सेम ही है, कोड में तो कोई चेंजेस हुआ ही नहीं था।
क्योंकि सर मैकेनिकल बैकग्राउंड से हूँ मैं तो ये यहाँ पे एक बैरियर आ जाता है आर्किटेक्चरल
हम्म।
वाइज की ये ट्रेनिंग जीपीयू में कैसे होगी सर
हम्म।
अगर आप एक बार बस इसका पूरा फ्लो एक बार अगर बता देंगे कि कॉर्पोरेट में कैसे होता है, फ्रॉम गिटहब से जो
हाँ
हमारी रेपो चलती रहती है टू
हाँ।
फाइन ट्यून करके हम फिर उसको अगेन यूज कैसे करते हैं, एक बार पूरा फ्लो एक बार बता देंगे तो बहुत इजी हो जाएगा
नहीं,
सर।
हम लोग भी यूज कर पा रहे हैं ना। देखिए यहाँ पर क्या है, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर माय स्क्रीन वंस अगेन, सो सी व्हाट विल हैपन। एनी हाउ माई एपीआई इज अप एंड रनिंग, सी पीपल आर एबल टू हिट माई एपीआई। ठीक है। सो
यस।
ऑब्वियसली what I have done, so let me go through this folder. LSL. So first of all, what we'll have to do, we have to launch a GPU, we have to launch a VM. Now, once we'll be able to launch a VM, then we have to basically do a basic setup. Now, let me show you my setup.py file for a real, so that most of you will be able to understand what is there inside this setup.py file. Sorry, setup sh file. So here, if you will look into my setup sh file, I'm not doing anything. It's basically a Linux, like a shell script that has been written. Echo means print, by the way, right? So wherever you are able to see echo, it simply means that it will print something in your console. And here we have written if else kind of a things. So first of all, we are trying to check whether we have a H100 GPU or not, right? So if GPU is available, so we are trying to, like, just show you the message that okay, GPU is available. And then what we are trying to do, so we are trying to install the packages. So basically I will be having a blank system. So when I'm going to launch a GPU for the very first time, there will be nothing installed inside that. So obviously I have to install each and everything. So to install each and everything inside a Linux machine, sudo apt install. So apt install and Python 3.1, pip virtual environment, git curl, wget, everything which is essential, right? Maybe in some project you need 10 more things, so you will try to install. So this is just an installation command, it is going to execute. Now once this is done, so once basic installation is done, then we are trying to install a Docker if I need Docker. If I don't need Docker, then I will not install. So I need a Docker, so I am trying to install a Docker. Now to install a Docker, only this command is going to work, right? So one will, like, get a Docker, and then it will try to install a Docker. Rest is just a echo, as you can see, right? Just rest is just a echo. Now, once I will be able to install a Docker, then we have to basically install NVIDIA dependency. Basically, my GPU dependency I have to basically install over here, right, for a Docker. So this is what I'm trying to do in terms of, like, curl means I'm downloading all those requirements, and then I'm trying to update my packages, and then I'm trying to update my NVIDIA container, and then I'm trying to again restart my Docker, so that my Docker will be having a GPU access here, or this command will be run. Now, so we are just trying to test over here that okay, everything is working fine or not with respect to a NVIDIA configuration that we have done for a Docker. Then we are trying to create a virtual environment. The way we are used to create a virtual environment, right? Although I have not used it, because even in my base environment I have Python 3.10, right, which I have installed in a very first place here itself, right? Even here, so this is a base environment Python installation, and this is a virtual environment Python installation. So I can go with my base, I can go with the virtual environment. Same thing we do even in local system. So here I'm trying to do that installation, and then, like, other Python dependency. What is the dependency? So this fast API, UVCon, NumPy, Pandas, scikit, and all those, like a CUDA library. I'm trying to, like, install a Python dependencies. So once this is basically, like, done, right? So we are, like, trying to set all those variables which is required for, like, my particular training with respect to Python file and everyone, and then we are giving a ch mode execution access to it, and then we are going for a complete setup. So this is a file which is helping me out to do a setup in a single shot.
हम्म।
If you want to do a setup in step by step manner, again you can skip this file execution, that's completely fine. So what you can do, just go to this file and then start from here. Install, execute this command first, then execute this command first. Leave the echo part, right? So execute this command means first of all environment setup, then Docker installation, then NVIDIA Docker installation dependency. So curl command, leave the echo part. Just like execute sudo and curl, so that it will download and it will try to install. And then, like, a Python virtual environment, create it the way we try to create it in my local system. And yeah, again I can try to, copy this one. Okay, let me, like, just copy this one, and maybe I can go to Yuri over here, and I say that okay, So I'll just copy and paste everything and I'll say that I don't want to run this all together. Do one thing for me, give me all the steps and command in individual manner. Yeah. So let's send this one. Fine. So obviously GPT will be able to understand. You are saving your time, right? You are saving your time. So it is giving my individual command, right? And as you can see, it has given you the same command that I told you. Yeah. So step number one, no need to check if H100. If H100 is available, NVIDIA SMI is showing you the things. No need to check these things. Simply start from here, right? Sudo apt install y this install, then Docker, then install NVIDIA container toolkit, then test the Docker. If everything is going to work fine, then test will work fine. We are not doing anything except echo over here. Then create a virtual Python environment, simple, right? Then install the dependencies for that environment, and then set up a project directory, by the way, and then create H100. So exactly same thing, same bifurcation of each and every line of a command it has given to you. No need to execute this file altogether. One by one, step by step, just execute all of these commands. As simple as that, right? Like I said, you can skip the echo part. Now this is going to help me out in terms of preparing my system, means installing all the prerequisite, the way we do it with respect to requirement.txt file or any other files. Once this is done, then we are trying to call what? So then we are trying to call basically train all h100.py file, or maybe you can try to call .sh file. So sh is nothing but your like a shell script based, and python is not, py file is nothing but a python based. You can call either of these. What we are doing internally into this one, so if you will go and check basically in any of these files, so for example I'm talking about, let's suppose these files, right? So we have to do a training. So here we are not doing anything different. It is getting into my directory. Which directory? The directory where I have a code for fine tuning, right? Different code. So getting in directory and then executing that code with all the parameter, whatever parameter is required. So basically to execute this fine tuning, I need this data set. I need basically a location where I will save my model, epoch, batch size, learning rate, whatever. So this is the only command we are trying to execute technically, right? Even if you'll go and check your .py file, we are not doing anything different here. So same, we are trying to call all together this one. If I don't want to do it, that's also fine. I can simply call Python 3 dpo fine-tuning.py file, Python 3 LoRa fine-tuning.py file, Python 3 or Python prefect fine-tuning.py file. So one by one also I can do a training and I will be able to save the model. But this is a file I have created so that I will be able to save some time and I will be able to test it and debug it all together. So technically it's like nothing. Once it will be done, so it is going to save a model inside a model directory. So like file by file, whatever directory name that you have given, it will save the model. Now once model will be saved, we are trying to call what? We are trying to call our API. So API is nothing but, like yesterday we have already discussed about it, right? So it is going to basically, okay, what has happened? Start the API. Okay, API server. So API server.py file we are trying to call, and here, so we are doing what? HR model, finance model, sales model, means we are just trying to hit this directory and exposing it to the outer world so that anyone can pass the data, anyone can do a curl, anyone can hit my APIs and they will be able to inference with respect to any of my model. Yeah. Next step, what you can do. So maybe next step, if you have to build that as a product, so maybe next step wise, the way we have done that, we are giving you a multi-model access over here, right? HR model, finance model, sales model. This model, you can just create a beautiful UI interface over here, and then whenever I'm going to select this model, it is going to hit, let's suppose sales model. Whenever I'm going to select this model, so it should hit my HR model, or maybe a finance model. So maybe in this way, I can try to just do a inferencing, and in a UI, I will be able to show the result. As of now, I'm able to showcase a result, right? So my result is visible, but where? So I'm able to showcase it into a Swagger
Very
UI.
good.
Yeah, so I'm able to test it anyhow. So if API is working, I can integrate in any device, any application, whatever I want and wherever I want. As simple as that. So this is the only thing that we are doing. If you'll go and try to understand this piece of things, you will feel like it's the same thing, right? It's nothing different. Yeah. Fine?
Yes, yes. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. So, okay, next one, Sahid, go ahead with the question.
सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस सेशन, इट वाज रियली वंडरफुल सेशन सर। सर हम लोग कोई बेस मॉडल के ऊपर इसको ट्रेन कर रहे हैं या अपना मॉडल खुद का बना रहे हैं सर, ये
नहीं
मुझे
नहीं नहीं नहीं, बेस मॉडल हम लोग पूरा का पूरा ट्रेनिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं। वो कल क्या हम लोग लास्ट वीक बात किए थे ना इसके बारे में।
सर मैं
कोई
सॉरी
भी,
मैंने ड्रॉप कर दिया था, कुछ कुछ एजेंसी आ
अच्छा,
गया
तो
था,
कहीं
सॉरी
भी जाके आप
अबाउट।
देखोगे ना कोई भी मॉडल के अंदर, तो हम लोग हमेशा एक मॉडल जो ले रहे हैं वो ये ले रहे हैं, टाइनी लामा।
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट।
फेसबुक का मॉडल ले रहे हैं हम लोग बेसिकली।
सर एक क्वेश्चन ऑन टॉप ऑफ ये, अगर मैं ये मॉडल का सिर्फ नाम दूंगा, ये
हम्म।
ऑटोमेटिकली भी डाउनलोड करेगा या मुझे कुछ
हाँ,
पास?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, बस हगिंग फेस से हम लोग डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं ना। ये सारे सारे मॉडल अवेलेबल है हगिंग फेस में, और हगिंग फेस में इसके ऐसे 10,000 मॉडल और भी अवेलेबल है।
सर
ठीक
कैसे
है,
मुझे,
इवन,
कैसे हम लोग पता ये सब मैं मॉडल का नाम दे दिया
हाँ,
तो हमने।
बेसिकली सी,
यस सर।
अगर आप जाओगे, ये हम कल भी बताए थे, आई थिंक आपने कल भी मिस
सॉरी सर, मैं
किया
मिस कर
क्लास।
दिया, आई एम सॉरी अबाउट इट
ठीक
सर।
है, तो
सॉरी।
ये हम सेम चीज कल बताए थे। हगिंग फेस के पास अगर हम जाएंगे,
हाँ।
ठीक है, यहाँ पर लेट्स सपोज, और यहाँ पर जाके क्लिक करेंगे मॉडल के अंदर, तो लेट्स सपोज कि मेरे को मॉडल चाहिए जीपीटी ओएसएस, ठीक है। सो
ओके
ओएसएस जो जीपीटी का सबसे बड़ा मॉडल है, सी 20 बिलियन और 120 बिलियन पैरामीटर मॉडल,
ओके।
जो अभी लेटेस्ट इन्होंने ओपन सोर्स किया है आप 2 साल के बाद।
जी जी जी, करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट।
हाँ, तो अगर मेरे को ये वाला मॉडल ट्रेन करना है, कोई बात नहीं, तो यहाँ पर इसका टोटल आईडी है ना, इसको कॉपी कर लेंगे। ठीक है,
ओके
आईडी कॉपी कर लेंगे, और ये आईडी कॉपी करके कुछ नहीं करना है, यहाँ पर बस पेस्ट कर देना है, बाकी काम अपने आप कर लेगा ये।
ओके। सो
इतनी,
वी डू नॉट हैव टू गिव द लाइक हगिंग फेस का ओपीनियन की वगैरह कुछ भी देने की जरूरत नहीं,
नहीं नहीं
ऑटोमेटिक
नहीं
मॉडल
नहीं
कर
नहीं नहीं
देगा।
नहीं, ओपन सोर्स मॉडल है ना। अगर आप हगिंग फेस में ट्रेन कर रहे हो उसके इन्वायरमेंट, तब वो एपीआई की वगैरह टोकन वगैरह चाहिए होता है।
ओके
अगर उसको आप लोकल से उसको ट्राई कर रहे हो एक्सेस करने की, तो अदरवाइज कुछ जरूरत नहीं है। जो ओपन सोर्स है उसको आप, जो प्रोप्राइटरी है जिसको हगिंग फेस बोलता है कि नहीं आप डाउनलोड नहीं कर सकते हो, इन दैट केस लाइक आपको वो करना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज कुछ जरूरत नहीं है।
ओके। वन मोर क्वेश्चन सर, हगिंग फेस से मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा सर ये डाउनलोड, ये मॉडल मैं डाउनलोड कर सकता हूँ, यूज कर सकता हूँ?
दिया हुआ होगा वहां पर बेसिकली। यहाँ पर आप नीचे जाओगे ना, तो हर मॉडल में दिया रहता है कि देखिए मॉडल आईडी आप यहाँ पर दे दिए, पाइपलाइन में आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। जो भी ओपन सोर्स मॉडल है हगिंग फेस में ना, वो लाइक आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। इट्स वो हगिंग फेस भी वो कंट्रोल नहीं करता है बेसिकली। आप यहाँ पर आओगे ना फाइल में, यहाँ पर ठीक है, तो सब में डाउनलोड डाउनलोड का ऑप्शन दिख रहा है ना। इसका मॉडल है, इसका मतलब है कि लाइक हम डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, सी।
ओके ग्रेट सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
ठीक है, सारे में यहाँ दिखेगा आपको। ये
ओके।
ओपन सोर्स मॉडल है ना, हगिंग फेस का मॉडल थोड़ी ना, हगिंग फेस तो एक बस
आपने हमें बताया था 120 बिलियन को, हम आपने हमें बताया था कैसे उसको इन्फ्लुएंसिंग कर सकते हैं यूजिंग दैट लाइक एच वन।
ऑलरेडी ऑलरेडी किया हुआ भी है जीपीयू
आपने
पर।
बताया, वही तो मैं बोला, आपने बताया दो एक महीना पहले ही बताया
हाँ,
आपने, वेरी रिसेंटली।
एग्जैक्टली, अगर आपको इसको ट्रेनिंग करना है खुद से, तो आप ट्रेनिंग भी कर सकते हो, मतलब जो हम लोग इसमें कर रहे हैं।
सेम 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 वी कैन
हाँ,
डू इट
तो
सिमिलर
अभी
वे।
वाले जो मॉडल हम यूज कर रहे हैं उसमें 1.1 बिलियन पैरामीटर है। इफ यू वांट टू लाइक यूज 120, मतलब ये बेस्ट ऑफ बेस्ट मॉडल, तो आप ये इसको ट्रेन कर लो, क्या दिक्कत है।
ओके ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
ठीक है, ओके ओके फाइन गाइस, सो इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन, देन वी विल close lecture for today. Hope all of you have liked it, enjoyed it. Agenda for next week is fixed. So, but yeah, do it once in your life. That is, can you please show what directory changes you tweaked? Nothing actually. See, basically, in my local system, so I have given a directory over here. Let me go into API server. So here, what I have done. Basically, I'm just like calling these models, and it is looking into this directory, right? So in my local system, directory name was different, and in GPU, so directory name was different. So what I have done, I have just like made this changes, sales finance. That's it. So whatever directory that I've created on GPU side, I've just made that so that it will start looking for a model in that directory. That is the only change which I have done. Nothing else. Yeah. Okay, fine, guys. Troubleshooting is the best part of the class. Yeah, exactly. See, this is how real development happens. Teaching wise, what we do as a teacher, so we like prepare our material. We come to the class and then reiterate those materials. And obviously, at that point of a time, you will not be able to see errors because before even coming to the class, we have already executed those materials like maybe 10 times. But yeah, in terms of real development, it never goes without debugging. We always have to go with the debugging. And even teaching wise, like if things are simple, then it doesn't take time even for us, like, to fix it in a live classes. But if something is a real time, then it will give you a real pain. Can we create an image on Ubuntu? Yeah, you can do that. Yes, you can create. Again. Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone. Take care. See you again next class Saturday, same time. Thank you.